Good morning, everybody. How are we?
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Afternoon, evening.
Look at what we found. Oh, that side.
Who is that guy?
Shannon.
I'm darkness.
You this guy?
He's just scared to show his hair.
No, I'm doing this specific. Oh, Jesus. That just clicked. I'm just doing that specifically trying to save the bandwidth for you guys.
Yeah. Thanks, Shannon, because I think that's actually making a difference, believe it or not.
I don't think Shannon got the memo about being quiet during the intro. But
No.
sounded like he was loading up a toolbox.
Too bad you couldn't see his hair. It looked really good, too.
Typical Shannon there.
Yep, looked awesome.
So, welcome everybody to another episode of Trackside Live with the Back on Track team, and welcome our guest, Jerry Sats. Good morning, Jerry.
Jerry.
Morning, Jerry.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on. I'm glad you didn't work today. That worked out
Me
really
too. It's cold.
He may wish he had by the time he's done with this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's going to say, what did I get myself into?
Can't be that bad. It's only an hour of endurance.
An hour of endurance. He's enduring us.
Oh, we have so many things we want to know about you. I want to know everything. Excuse me, I'm coughing.
Well, start off, Steve.
What's that?
Ask questions. I'm not good at talking about myself. So
I hate talking about myself.
You
Well,
you got
tell
to
us
ask
about
questions.
Yeah. Well, you said you live in Pennsylvania, the southeastern part, right? Okay.
Philadelphia.
Now,
yeah.
Philadelphia, okay. And I see that you've got train tracks near your house, judging by your videos. So is that close to your house?
Yeah, it's about, you can probably hear them sometimes. Yeah, it's like a couple minutes away. I have CSX on one side and actually the Northeast Corridor, Amtrak, and Norfolk Southern are even closer, like half a quarter of a mile away. Yeah, so surrounded by railroad tracks everywhere.
So, and it sounded like you got a detector close too, so that kind of warns you when stuff's coming. That's kind of convenient.
It does, yeah. Yeah, it's just you don't know which way they're coming from, but you know, it just goes off and you hear them. But usually I'll hear horns before I hear that too, but because there's a lot of crossings along CSX around here, so you'll hear them before the detectors go off.
Cool. Now, is that what you're going to model, or are you going to use something specifically?
No, not really. No, just I just found a plan online that I liked and kind of just went from there. It's not going to be, CSX. I mean, I don't even own a CSX engine, but, it'd just be a little bit of everything. I guess people call it freelancing. So it's nothing prototypical or just wanted to put together something finally over, I've been collecting since the 80s and just never, I started a layout probably in the 80s and just never finished it. Just got away from the hobby, sort of, but still would go to train shows and that sort of thing. And it wasn't until probably 2 years ago that I really started getting back into the hobby. I guess because of YouTube mostly and rail fanning more and just a little bit of that.
Well, it sounds like you're kind of a legend. Art's in chat. Art's saying that you're a glue master, or meister, glue meister. And let's see. And Roy Ether says that you become a legend, according to what he's seen this week. I'd have to say,
I don't know about that,
I was kind of binge watching your stuff too last night because
Right.
I went down and looked and I'm subscribed to you, but the bell notification is off. So I would suggest people go back and check your subscriptions because I wasn't getting any notifications. So
I don't
no
get
idea.
any notifications. I get no notifications from anybody. I just see people pop up on my subscription feed, but that doesn't necessarily jive with, because I'm subscribed to a lot of people, but I guess it's who you watch the most. I don't know how YouTube works, but
the new algorithm is basically you subscribe to someone, you have to actually watch and comment so many times on their channel before it actually sticks. Otherwise, what happens is YouTube will unsubscribe you from their channel.
Right. Okay.
So, people, when you subscribe to someone's channel, make sure you watch a few videos, leave a few comments, say hello.
That's why we're always talking. Leave comments in the description down below.
And don't forget to hit that like button too.
Oh yeah, smash that like button. You cannot break it.
Thanks, Lee. So somebody had said, am I the Jerry that's on everybody's layout? I guess so. It was like Roy Container Man. And I think Community Roundhouse and those guys got that going. And it was fun. You know, every once in a while I'll see some videos of me or Roy or somebody else on somebody's layout, which is fun.
Yeah, I reckon it's a great little gimmick to have people taking photos. I've got you in a van running around on some of the club layouts.
Right, that's cool. Yeah, like who's this Jerry guy? Yeah.
And capture the container man, Roy. I've got him running around on some of the layouts too.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's fun to see people move them around, and yeah, it's a cool way to get everybody else involved in your layout that might not be.
Speak of the devil, we got Roy in chat. Good morning, Roy.
Morning, Roy.
So you've started a layout, or you have one in progress of being built?
Yeah, I'm building one now. So it's just a module that I built. It's about 5 foot long by 24 to 28 foot or 28 inches deep. It's just a small little layout.
Is it HO?
No, N scale.
N scale. Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I didn't clarify, but
yeah,
N scale. I've always, like I started, like I said, collecting N scale in the 80s, and I just didn't stop. And it's like now I'm like 59, and it's like hard to see that stuff. So I don't know if I would do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, that's why I didn't go N scale.
That's why you get
that before, and I knew how small it was.
Yeah, get the magnifying glasses out.
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, I don't want to get rid of what I got. I don't want to start something new. So
I thought your layout was bigger than that.
Yeah, pardon me.
I'll take it if you want.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah. So
I was just saying, I thought your layout was a little bigger than that. You said 28 inches on the video. It looks bigger than that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess it's deceiving, but yeah, it's not very big. I mean, you you look, I like when I built my module to begin with, you look at it and it's like this big thing, and then you start putting things on it, like shrinks to nothing. It's like, geez, is this all it is?
Well, you forget how small N scale really is.
Yeah.
I mean, when I ordered my jig for making the turnouts, I opened it up, and I honestly thought the guy sent me Z scale. It's like this is small.
Yeah.
It's like, what did I get myself into?
Right.
Well, what's scary is they make those jigs down to Z scale.
I know.
I can't even imagine that.
Yeah.
That or
Imagine if they
N
made those
three.
jigs in T.
Say again?
Imagine if they made those jigs in T scale.
Oh yeah, I know. It's crazy
T
what
for
they
green
can
all
do.
day.
You have to
Is
get a
T scale
microscope.
something real? Is T scale like?
It's a
T
standard.
scale is currently the smallest commercially available models you can buy. They're 1 to 450.
Which is tiny.
Yeah, it's half the size of N scale.
No, it's half the size of Z.
Oh, is it? Okay, yeah. Well, what's N scale's 1 to 220?
No, 1 to 160. Z is 1 to 220.
Oh, 1 to 220. Okay.
So is that where you
Z
build
scale
Half
your,
of that. Oh man.
you
Yeah.
build your layout in a matchbox?
Don't sneeze.
Oh,
No, don't sneeze.
sneezing
You
your
sneeze on
layout
your
goes
layout, you blow everything
flying.
away. Yeah, that's too small. Way too small.
So, Jerry, how did the traveling Jerry, I guess, or spot Jerry on your layout thing start? How did that start?
Well, the best that I can recall is Drew Steele, 69, started putting me on his layout, like rail fanning and spots on his layout. And just Drew did it, and then Dale did it, and then I don't know who else did it. Like Mark did it from Eminem, and oh, geez, I can't even keep track. I mean, some of the other guys did it, and yeah. So I think Drew started it, and Dale really took off with it. I guess Dale, Highball and Hogger. Yeah, so I think that's how it started, but you might find somebody else has a different version. I don't know. That's my version.
But you said you had a module. Do you have? Is it self-contained module, or is it like part of N-Track, or?
No, it's just self-contained. It's not. I didn't build it to like N-Track or any of the other standards. I just took some material and put it together, and that was that. I mean, I didn't. Yeah, there's no standard to it. Just this is the space that I had, and I built something to fit that space.
Yeah, I understand that. I did that with my N scale when I first had it, but that was when the kids were little.
Right.
So that went away pretty quick. So anybody's got kids knows you don't have a lot of time for your hobby when you got little ones doing stuff.
Right.
Or the money for it. That's the other thing.
Yeah. Yeah. The hobby has gotten a lot more expensive over the years, for sure.
Why is it the smaller you get, the more expensive it gets? That's not fair.
Tooling.
Yeah, I guess
Tooling.
and I don't get it, but I understand it. I mean, I'm not happy with it, should I say, but hi, Wilmer. Yeah, I'm not happy with it, but that's how it is, right?
Yeah.
Hi, Wilmer. Good morning.
And if you get off into the specialty stuff, like I'm in HOM3, so that stuff's more expensive than HO stuff, comparatively speaking. NN3 is probably the same way. I don't know how much Shannon probably knows is how much of that is even commercially available.
NN3,
drives
very
up price,
limited.
too.
There's plenty of rolling stock, but if you want anything locomotive wise, like say a K27 or K28, you're probably looking at $2,000 down payment to even start.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew the specialty stuff gets a lot more expensive. They don't sell as many of them, so they got to pay for it somehow.
So, real quick, I see PDR engineer Art asked me if I'll be keeping my layout in my shop. Yeah, for the time being, I think so. It's just where all my tools are, and it's just easier to work on it and take a break from another project and go do something on that. Yeah, it's for now, probably.
Somebody's dog's upset.
That's not my dog. Let's be
I thought
quiet.
that was a sneeze.
Neighbor next door is doing something, and she hears everything.
Dog's got good hearing.
Oh, yeah. Let me let her out, and maybe she'll go away.
So, Jerry, are you modeling a particular prototype or just sort of freelancing it?
Just freelancing it, fill in the space that I have, and yeah, there's no railroad to it, I don't plan on, just running CSX or Conrail or just whatever. I don't.
Now, I got a question, Jerry. What led you to pick that plan? What jumped out at you with that particular layout plan that you chose? You said you found one you liked. What was it about? What was about it that you liked? I can't even talk.
Just that I could have more industries and switching on it than and still have running. I guess. Yeah, I guess I never really thought about that question.
Well, because it kind of incorporated an interesting crossing with the main lines.
Yeah,
I have to go back.
I kind of hate that crossing, but because it's like trying to get all that stuff together is like, it's like nerve wracking. It's like, yeah. At one point, even in the video, I talked about, I wish I never picked this track and just got Kato track and snapped things together. And
I was just going to say that, not to diss on the Kato.
No, I'm not dissing on it either. I mean,
but yeah, I think with with the flex track, I think it looks better.
Yeah, I mean,
that's just
and to tell you the truth, it was just the cost of Kato track that just kind of like pushed me away from it, because you can't beat the simplicity of it.
Oh, sure.
The simplicity of it is great. I mean, it's but you're confined in that this is all it has, and you kind of got to put it together and make it work for your layout. And I just didn't want to. I guess I didn't want to mess around with buying a bunch of track and maybe not using it and having getting stuck with it. Can't return it. You can't. It's like, yeah, that's probably.
You could always hand lay it.
Yeah, well,
there you go.
There's a lot of advantages to hand laying your track.
Yeah, sure. I went to a railroad club and that's what they did. It's all HO, but they hand laid their track, hand laid their turnouts. I mean, you can't beat it. It looks beautiful, but it's too much work. I'm just starting this stuff, so who knows? Maybe later.
Yeah. It does take longer, but it's easier to say cut in a turnout because I did change up some of my main line as it's going out of the yard, and I had a kink in it that I didn't really like the way I ran it. So I built another turnout to straighten that line out, and I'm in the process now of putting those back in, and I can just drop them in and slide rail joiners. You can't do that with sectional track, because you can't slide the rail joiners on far enough.
Yeah, right.
So
Wilmer asked,
it's got its advantages.
Wilmer, will I be taking your challenge? I'm not even running trains yet, but I can push them around. Yeah. Does that count? But maybe eventually I will. And that's a good challenge. Some guys have been pulling some long trains with Wilmer's challenge. I don't know if you guys are following it or.
No,
Yeah.
I was just going to say, did I miss that? What's the challenge?
I've seen Steve needs to get in on that. He can pull some long trains.
Yeah. So Wilmer on his recent Not Bad challenged people to pick one engine and see how many cars you can pull with that one engine.
Oh, okay. I could do that.
Yeah. Some guys, some N scalers. I'm more fascinated by the N scalers, but are pulling. Geez, one of the Dave BNSF, I think it was. He had like 45 cars that he pulled with one engine.
Well, I run some long ones, but I can't do it with one. With my grades, one engine isn't gonna pull because I'm running about 3% grades on mine. So, I'll put some weight in it.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't have a big enough layout to do that challenge, but I've seen some N-scale locos like I know when the G-Tel 8500s came out from Scale Trains, a couple of T-Track guys over in England were hauling 96 freight cars behind the 3-unit G-Tel. Some people I know who have the Athens Talented Big Boys are capable of pulling 60 cars on those.
Well, the most I've ever had, I've never been able to get up to 90, but I've had mid 80s on mine. But
yeah, well, my issue is I have the room stock. I don't have the room.
Well, my problem was I had head end power. I had 2 sets of mid train helpers and pushers on the rear. And in N scale with curves, you start getting the slack action, and that was the big issue: getting stuff running together. I could not get 90. So my record, I think, is like 86. I got a video on it someplace, but it was insane.
So I see Art has a question. So far, I only have one, Art. I plan on doing 4 or 5, but I only have one right now. I haven't found anything that I liked.
You still there? Sorry, I thought everything went quiet for a second there.
So Jerry, what's the next thing you're going to do on your layout?
I still have one section of track to fit in, and then 2 siding tracks, and then I'll start gluing down track, I guess.
Cool.
So you do a lot of rail fanning, don't you?
Yeah, I do a lot of rail fanning. Yeah, I do. So it's close to my house. It's close to my shop. Yeah, so it's pretty easy. I could take lunch and go catch a couple trains and go back to work.
Tell us about your new Facebook page. That's pretty cool. You got a lot of people in there.
My Facebook group is just an N scale, but it's my N scale and anybody else's scale. I don't care what you put, or rail fanning photos, or just it was just a way for me to share my rail fanning photos and videos. And at the time when I started it, I wasn't building a layout, but it's a way to share my layout too. But
it's a good idea.
Yeah. So and like everybody else, just another way to get community together. So hi JD. Maybe he wants to know if I'm going to scrap build any building. Probably, because there's probably going to be one building that I'm probably not going to be able to buy. So, and it's on this back section that I call the pods on my layout. They're pods that I put to fit into this little space. And so they're going to be like half, it's going to be like half buildings or quarter buildings. I don't know. Just like
Good. I thought maybe it was something out of the Invasion of the Body Snatchers or something.
Yeah, no. But Yeah, I'll probably do one or two. I don't think I'm going to get crazy with it, but who knows?
Well, what do you like? What do you like the best? Do you like something, a particular thing on your layout, or do you like rail fanning more? Or
For my, what do you
for
mean?
you personally, what do you like the most about railroading in general?
Oh, rail fanning.
I'm sorry,
Rail fanning.
rail fanning.
Yeah, I like rail fanning. It's just, it's kind of like a surprise. You never know what you're going to see, and sometimes you don't see anything, and sometimes you see something really cool, and it's just a peaceful, relaxing time. You start thinking about other things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
chasing trains I miss. That was so much fun chasing trains.
yeah, and it's fun to chase them too.
Do you enjoy video more of the chasing them or just chasing them, or both?
Here, like when I shoot video, it's kind of like I don't get to enjoy the train as much. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? It's like you're so caught up in trying to capture it that you kind of miss things. So
It's a good point.
it's it's a
Yeah.
yeah, it's like going on vacation and taking a bunch of photos. You kind
Yeah,
of miss your vacation because you're so tied up taking photos. Uh, so
yeah. I know
it,
that feeling. We went to Europe, and I took a camera, and I came back with 1,500 photos. That was after deleting about 900,
right,
and I only took about maybe a quarter of what I could have taken. So yeah, because I knew I was the same way. I'm missing this stuff. I want to see it and absorb it into my memory
right,
before I take a picture of it. So yeah, there was that trade-off of how much do you take a picture of to preserve it, and how
yeah.
much do you just take part of while you're there.
So
Because see,
like,
I think I enjoy the video of trains more than just watching them go by. See, that's why I wanted to know whether you like, just watching them or video more. Because that my joy is videotaping it.
so I like videoing it because I can share it with everybody else.
Yeah.
And I don't video everyone because it's just you know I don't I just
It's a bit
don't.
monotonous.
But some you know I, if I can put I use my phone, so if I could just put that on a tripod and then just concentrate on the train, that
Yeah.
works the best. But if I'm holding it, that's kind of miss the train.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I had that problem when the big boy came through not too far from here, and I'm glad we took the video of it instead of just standing there watching it go by because it was only in front of us for about 5 seconds. But having it on the video, we got get to go back and look at it and actually watch it because it was moving pretty good when it came by us.
So
Indian
Wilmer,
Valley's got another question for you, Jerry. He's
zero,
saying, what kind of bridges are going to be on your layout?
no bridges. It's all
No
flat
worries.
surface, man. It's like
Plywood lanes.
yeah,
Kansas.
all flat, no bridges. I mean, I like bridges. Bridges are cool. I mean, like bridges are like rail fanning. Bridges are like my favorite place to rail fan. Um, um, maybe I'll put one in, but I don't see it. But who knows? I mean, like it's my like when I first started my layout, I had one thing in my head, and as I'm progressing with it, things are changing. So I don't want to say no, but right now, no. Yeah, I
Not
don't know.
yet. Just say not
Not
yet.
yet. Not yet. I really don't have a plan for it. I would like to, but
Yeah.
I don't see how I could work one in.
Sparky's also pointed out here that you have 2 channels. Is that correct?
I do. I have my woodworking channel and my rail fanning um, layout / channel. Yeah.
Can we put a link to in the description for both those, Ally?
If I can find them, yes.
If she has
So,
it.
so my woodworking channels is Sateriale Woodworking, SAT. I'll put it in there. So you could.
You send me
Speaking
an
of-
email with the links. I'll put them in.
Speaking
have
of
your email.
woodworking, Jerry, Roy, Container Man, he wants to know what grade wood you would recommend for a train layout.
I think you're taking the piss there.
Yeah.
It's the cheapest.
Yeah, I mean, it's, that's a tough question because, not everybody is going to be able to get all the different materials, and, the better materials are better, but you might not be able to find it. The best material that you can find, that's my answer for you. Cheap is not good always, and the most expensive is a waste. So somewhere in between, I think what you want for plywood is the more layers that the plywood has, the better it is. The more stable it will be for you. So
And stay away from chipboard and MDF.
yeah,
Yes.
you don't want that stuff.
Not MDF. Nope.
And it looks appealing, it sounds appealing, but it's not. You'll
Also,
regret it later.
You should at least dig out a culvert.
Yeah, I
Art
see
says.
that. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that
Old
would be
creek
easy.
bed.
Because I only
Little
have, I
creek bed.
think, 3/4 inch foam,
Mhm.
and I have nothing under the foam. So
Oh.
yeah,
Oh.
I don't want to go too far. But, yeah,
Well, you can always glue a piece underneath and then dig out.
That's what I was thinking. Put
Yeah,
a
That's
little.
the nice thing about foam. It's
Yeah.
easy to do stuff like that with the foam because you can just add to the bottom if you need to, just like you do a mountain. You put it underneath and make
A
little
lightweight frame. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Stick
Yeah,
a
so
couple
you
one
never
by
know.
fours.
I might find something. Yeah, or another piece of foam.
Yeah.
Stick under it. Yeah.
That's how it starts. You go, oh, I can make it bigger.
Yeah.
There's a question here again from Indian Head Valley Railroad. It says, Jerry, what is your favourite excursion train to rail fan?
Wow. So that I've rail fanned so far, probably Strasbourg. Just because I like the area so much, and yeah, probably Strasbourg that I've been to so far.
Well, Wilmer's asking, what is your favorite thing on Lulu's diner menu?
That's too hard, Wilmer. They're all good. She's a good cook. There is none. They're all good, Wilmer. You can't go wrong with Lulu.
There you go.
She's a good cook.
John, Grandpa Rails, he wants to know, are you going to scratch build anything?
Probably a couple of my buildings I'm going to need to scratch build some form of. Yeah, I don't know how crazy they'll be, but some things I will.
Cool. I think we're coming up towards the middle of the show now. I believe Shannon might have an intermission for us.
Oh, cool.
You want to take it away, Shannon? If he's there, if he's still there.
Hello, Shannon. Did you fall asleep?
Oh, I'm still here. I was muted.
Oh, thank
That's
God.
not
Yeah,
bad.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing.
I don't have an intermission as such. It's more housekeeping, but for any of those who are wondering, it's currently 2:30 in the morning. This is what I'm currently doing.
Hang on, I'm trying to make you bigger, but it's not working for some reason.
No, had me bigger
There we go.
before. What did you do?
It
Got it.
worked.
Oh, I've got a delay. It's doing weird things. Ah! What's it doing?
Maybe I'll spin around a few times.
There we go.
go.
Fixed it.
I'm getting dizzy.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm cleaning my workshop. This is my workshop. Yeah. But whilst everyone has a look at what I'm bloody doing around here, oh damn it! I swore and I did it again. Yeah, I was gonna say so. Now I don't know if Ally's announced any of this yet, but yeah, just keep an eye out for a couple of changes that are happening to the channel. As you guys know, I'm not going to be in the show as often because of work. I'm actually meant to be in bed right now. The traveling boxcar, we're currently having some technical difficulties with the travel arrangements, which we're kind of trying to figure out at the moment. What else?
Turn your phone
Don't forget to
sideways.
hit that like button, subscribe, bell icon, so you can watch the madness unfold every day, every Saturday, and hopefully during the week if the trackside beans ever happens again.
It will. It'll make a comeback in 2021.
So what are those tracks you got in front of you, Shannon? What is it? OHON?
I think we
Was he
lost
still
him.
there? I think we might have lost him.
Well, he was spinning around. He probably fell over.
It had a delay on my end, so it looked like it wasn't working. So I clicked it a couple of times, and then it just went blah.
Yeah, he's frozen up.
If you can still hear us, Shannon, drop off and jump back in again, and we'll try and see if we can get you back. I'll just send him a private message.
He probably doesn't even know he's still blabbering.
Oh, no, he's gone. I think he's figuring it out.
Or maybe not.
Or not.
Give him a minute. Yeah, so as Shannon said, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. I put in early, I think we had up to 30 people in here.
Sweet.
And only 15 likes. So come on, guys, smash that like button. You can't break it.
I'm showing 22.
Oh, that's better. That's much better. Getting there.
I'm showing 22.
Don't forget, Teesprings. Get yourself a shirt. Tease Steve a bit more about losing re-railers and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Got to do that. Hey, I got a ton of keychains at Eat Homes. Lots of keychains.
Yes, keychains. Don't forget about that as well.
Send one to Jerry.
We got Shannon back.
Colonel Murphy decided to kill my phone.
Oh, he's back.
What happened, Shannon?
Colonel Murphy decides to make sure that my phone ran out of charge.
Turn your phone sideways, Shannon. Camera or whatever.
Is that better? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so I think I got everything that I needed to for intermission. In saying that, have a guess which 3 is my scale and which other 2 was not.
We know the answer to that.
I know the answer.
What does everyone else think in the chat?
Yeah,
For those who are rewatching this, leave a comment down below. Tell us what you think.
Just to give you an idea, that's N scale. That's, what is it? It's not J scale. What is it? One scale or whatever it's called?
Gauge 1.
That's the one. N scale, gauge 1. Figure out which one of these 3 I'm modeling in now. And can someone call Heath and let him know he's got some garbage to sort through?
That I don't know what the reference is about there, but
well, Heath was on here earlier.
Well, I know Heath is so good at organising things, so I left all that for him.
He was in the show earlier, so he's probably hiding in here somewhere, hiding in chat.
Yeah, and then he can sort all this out.
That's not a mess, Shannon.
Joel guessed you're doing gauge 1, Shannon.
I wish. If I was doing gauge 1, I'd be rich.
Well, I got a question for Jerry. What's your favorite item on your layout that you have for your layout? Whether it's an engine, a rolling stock, or
Wow. I don't know, man. I like them all. I don't. Yeah, I like them all. I can't say that. I mean, it's center beam cars just because of what I do, but just to pick one thing, I like them all because I bought them all just because I liked them, and I don't necessarily buy cars or engines because of a road name. It's just how they look, I think, more so. So
overall?
I can't answer that question. That's a tough one. It's not.
Well, that explains it because you don't stick to a particular road name necessarily or a particular railroad.
I like Conrail. I like PRR, but I like certain parts of them, not all of them. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the old plain Conrail logo. I like the Conrail quality logo stuff. It's just I don't know.
No, I understand. That's part of the freelance part of it that I like.
Yeah.
Is you can do whatever you want, and so you can buy the stuff that you really like and not be held up with a particular road name or a particular style of car. That sort of thing.
Yeah, like I know friends of mine that are prototypical, and they're kind of, I like it. It's cool, but then you're like stuck on, I gotta have this, I gotta have that, I gotta have that, even though you may not like it.
Yeah, I agree because that's why I did freelance. Mine's based on real railroads, but it's not following any real railroad, so I can do what I want with it.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing prototypical would be like operations of it. I would like to do, and obviously different, I guess, setups. I don't, spacings and things like that. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, other than
Speaking of operations, are you running DC or DCC?
I'm planning on BCC.
Ooh. That'll make it easier.
Yeah, just for easy, I guess easy wiring. I don't know. And I'm like, wiring is like not something that I am good at, and that's probably going to be my weakest point. But I'm trying to figure it all out. And like these crossovers are probably the biggest thing. I kind of regret doing, but I'll figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah, the hardest part to wire, excuse me, the hardest part to wiring is actually the soldering. For me, anyway, and I'm used to soldering, having been a plumber. So, once you master the soldering part, the wiring is just following a diagram of where it's supposed to go. It's really not that tough to do. The gaps on your crossings and your turnouts and stuff, you can find that information pretty readily on the internet on where to put the gaps and where to put your frog juicers and that sort of thing if you go that way. But it's really not as tough as it sounds like it is when you're on the outside of it and you haven't started it.
Right.
But one of the things is just anything you're afraid of doing, just get started. And once you get started, you'll figure it out pretty quick.
Yeah, for sure.
So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to jump into it.
Yeah, that's what I'm fine.
Yeah, most of it's not tough.
Might put things off, but eventually you'll jump in. So I don't know JD yet or Grandpa Rails. Kind of leaning towards the ESU system, but I'm not really sure yet.
I'd say follow down a Heath path and go with DigiKeys.
DigiKeys.
Yeah, because DigiKeys, they're still a fairly new company, but they've come into the DCC world quite powerful. So their system is capable of using Digitrack's LocoNet, ESU's version of LocoNet as such. And the good thing about it is you can buy the smart booster, the booster pack itself, and then you can use any controller. You can use an NCE controller, Digitrack's controller, ESU, TCS. It's got Wi-Fi inbuilt, so you can use your mobile phone. You can plug your computer straight into it. It's pretty much ready to go for any kind of system you want to start up with.
Does it have to be hooked up to like the internet?
No.
Okay.
It can be, but it doesn't need to be.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, if you speak to Heath, it's actually very, very capable of doing a fair few different brands because DigiKey's designed it to be like that. And they've only been out for maybe 2 years, I think now, but they're making a name for themselves quite quickly.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So I'll have to check out Heath's videos about it.
Cool. Has anyone got any other questions in chat for Jerry today? Because we're coming up towards the end of the show now, so we'll get some
I've got a question for Jerry.
comments.
I've got a question for Jerry. So, Jerry, with your layout that you're building, when you do build it, are you planning on building it so you can have it portable, or is it going to be mainly fixed?
Well, it will be portable because I take it from its shelf and put it on my workbench and work on it. So yeah, I mean, I can't only. Yeah, I guess the biggest thing would be the controller system. Whatever I use, I would need to make. Yeah, I mean, it can be portable, so not necessarily fixed. So to answer your question, yes, portable.
Well, that's where Engage really lends itself to that, to being portable, a portable deal, like a module, whether it's part of another, larger club layout or whether it's separate like yours is. It still makes it easy to move around.
Right.
Yeah. Because I thought about doing something like that on the side away from my layout, because obviously my layout's not portable. Mine's attached to the walls, but I thought about doing a smaller one so I could take it somewhere if I wanted to. And then I got to thinking, I don't know where I'd be taking it. So
yeah, I don't know where I would take mine, but yeah,
Nowhere during the showstopper.
yeah. I mean, it'd be pretty cool to like take it out and go Ralph fanning with it.
Well, I know in your part of the country, they have a lot more train shows, a lot more good train shows than they have here. We have the one we have here in Tulsa that I've been to is just almost non-existent. And that's when it was before the virus and all that mess.
Right.
The one we have now that's pretty good is in Oklahoma City, but of course they didn't even have it last year. Whether or not they have it this next year, who knows? It's a pretty good one, but I wouldn't want to drag my layout all the way down there. I know they get people from Kansas and Mexico and everything else that come in, but I'm not set up to travel like that with something. So I wouldn't be taking it that far. It would have to be, for me, it'd have to be a close show. But for you, I would think they'd have several shows close to you, don't they?
Yeah, there's a lot of shows when the shows are around here. Yeah, and they're pretty big for the most part. There's smaller shows, but yeah, there's probably, I don't know, just a guess, 5 good shows. And there's more if you want to travel 2 hours, but within an hour is like you know, I don't want to say limit, but I don't want to travel 2 or 3 hours to a show, unless it's a big show.
Yeah. See, in Oklahoma City for me is a 2-hour trip. So that's just, one way. So it's, yeah, I envy you guys back east for that sort of thing because of having so many people in the hobby back there that you have all those big shows that get to. Because I love going to a good train show, but we just don't have them here. You either got to go to Dallas or someplace else in Texas, or you have to go to Chicago, or you have to go to Oklahoma City at the closest. And Oklahoma City show, even though it's a good one for Oklahoma, would not hold up back east probably.
Oh, any show is better than no show.
This is true.
Yeah, no matter how bad it's been. I mean, I've been to some bad shows here. Yeah, you might not spend a lot of time there, but it's better than nothing.
We're just about to lose Shannon here because he's having some charging difficulties with his phone. So we'll just bid him farewell and thank him for joining us tonight. I know it's a bit difficult with him working on Sundays, so thanks for joining us, Shannon. We'll catch up with you during the week, I guess. Take care.
Good night, Shannon. Good night. Take care, Shannon. Thanks for coming by.
And he's gone.
And
He's gone.
just like that, he's gone.
I agree, Sparky.
What did you say?
Said at this point, any show would be a good show.
Yeah, that's a good point. Why is it? Oh, it's so delayed here.
Did we freeze up?
No, it didn't freeze up.
No.
It's just chat is being very slow for me.
Well, Roy was saying, Container Man was saying, he was talking to Wilmer, instead of wood, buy plywood and have that cut into strips 3.5 inches, then glue 3 or 4 together and use that for legs on your layout. Plywood contracts and expands less than wood. Yeah, I mean, it does, and it can be a little more stable that way. Jerry probably knows this. It doesn't matter how you do it, it still can move. Any material, aluminum, steel, any of it contracts and expands. So it's more about the temperature and humidity in the area than it is what materials you're using. So if you keep that in mind, like mine's upstairs in the house, so mine stays relatively the same temperature and humidity year round. I've had very little contraction or expansion that I can find on mine, and it's been up there for 2 years. So, that's, to me, is much more important on that contraction expansion thing is your humidity and temperature than it is the materials necessarily that you're using. Because they will all move, even your rail will move.
And that's just something you've got to live with.
Pardon?
You can't change that. Can't stop that.
Well, Jerry knows this. One of the things you can always count on, if you've got 2 surfaces that are next to each other that aren't the same, they're going to move different than each other. So you're going to have expansion and contraction at that point that's going to show up eventually. So you have to watch for that kind of thing too.
I'm just curious,
banana.
Wilmer, are you like changing your layout or something, or adding to it?
I don't think he is. He said, I've heard that before, but I'm not changing anything now. And he goes on to say, I really don't have a problem with expansion and contracting. So,
Well, most people, like I say, most people that have their layouts in their house where its environment is fairly controlled are going to have a lot less problem than people that have them in a garage that's separate or a shed that's separate.
Right.
Or
unless you
a basement even, because basements can get fairly damp even in a good controlled environment. So those places are much worse about it. than if you've got it up in your actual residence. But there again, a lot of people don't have the luxury of having it in their residence. So, they've got to take precautions because of that.
I'm lucky my wife lets me in my residence, much less a layout.
Actually, it's probably handy for you, Steve, if you need to disappear.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of that lately. Hiding from my sister. Long story.
But we're winning from it because we're seeing progress on your layout.
Yeah, how about that? How about that?
That's why it's good to have a hobby so you can get away.
Yeah. Hide.
Yeah, Roy, that's true. A lot of people use splines for curves and stuff. That's a pretty old school way of doing it, but it is very, very stable. I've done some of that in the past. I didn't do it on this layout. It can be pretty tedious to build like that, but it is a very good way to do it because it doesn't move as much. Basements are usually pretty stable environment. Dehumidifier. Yeah, Dave, you're right. Dehumidifier would be a must in a basement, especially around here in Oklahoma, because the basements that are here are old and leak. Most of them leak. So that's a problem here. Most of the city here in Tulsa are either just crawl space homes or slabs, so they don't have it in a basement. They'll be in a garage or attic or something like that, or a shed.
Message here from Grandpa Rails. He says, Jerry, thank you for letting us get to know you more.
Sure, no problem. Thanks for having me on. It was fun.
Well, you're welcome anytime you want to come on, Jerry.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome back anytime you'd like to come back. And
on that note,
having you on today.
So is anybody else. If anybody else wants to get on, come on. Come on.
Like Shannon was alluding to earlier, we were talking about having a rotating co-host joining us once a month. That's all we ask, once a month. So if you think you're interested or could do Saturday, same time every month, send us an email down at the Back on Track moderators email down below, and we'll have a chat.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see some of you other guys out there.
Yeah,
I'd love to get 4, 5, 6 guys. The more we get that want to do that on a regular basis, the further apart we can spread you guys. So you wouldn't have to be on even every month if we get more than 3 or 4. So
even if you want to do it once in a while, it doesn't have to be a monthly thing. Even if you just want to get on once.
Sure. Yeah, I'd love to have you guys on. Show us what you're doing, or show us something that you're doing, technique or something like that. Yeah, that'd be great.
You've got to be getting tired
of us. Don't worry, we won't grill you like we've grilled Jerry.
I'm sorry, say that again, please.
We'll try not to grill you like we've grilled Jerry tonight.
I don't think you guys grilled me enough, but that's okay.
It looks like you're sweating there.
I'm okay. Some tough questions, but
tough.
Well, that's what we're here for. Ask tough questions.
Tough questions.
Well, I got to get me a Jerry truck now, so.
I do too. What kind of truck should I get?
Anything.
Anything.
Yeah, it doesn't
I've got
matter.
a van, so.
Drew had me in a pickup truck. Dale has me in a little pickup truck. Whatever you want to put.
I'll put you in a little Santa Fe work truck. Shannon sent me a couple of those. I'll put you in that. Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay.
All works.
Well, thanks again, Jerry, for coming on. And
thank you
guys for showing up for the show this morning.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
everybody.
And be sure and let us know if you'd like to be on the show on a rotating basis, semi-permanent basis. And we'll get in touch and set you up.
Thanks for having me.
I was just going to say, what does everyone think of that idea? If you like that idea, put it in the comments down below. Or if you have any other suggestions, comments down below. Or drop us an email. Don't forget, we're looking for topics as well, so keep sending them in.
Either one.
We've got a couple here saying, well, we've got one here from Roy saying he likes the idea.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea. Yeah.
Wilmer says Jerry's not in his truck. That's why he's sweating.
Yeah, I'd be cold in my truck.
Oh, come on,
Yes, sir.
Bernard. Bernard says he's being embarrassed to show his disaster. Hey, if I can do it, anybody can.
That's true. Steve has a very good point there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I set the bar really low.
Streaming is
Oh,
easy.
it's not that low, Steve. Come on,
Yeah.
give yourself a little credit.
All righty. Well,
Yep.
I think it's time to wrap up.
Got
Yeah.
Everybody have a
dogs
good
out.
day. Good night.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And we will catch you all next week.
Saturday.
Same time,
Next
same
Saturday.
place.
Later.
See you guys. For the rest of your
Don't
weekend.
forget to hit the bell icon so you don't miss a potential episode of Trackside Beans.
You never know when they're going to happen.
Exactly. That's why you need to hit that bell icon. All right, guys.
Okay.
Take care.
Thanks.
See you guys. Thanks.
Bye-bye.